What's going on, people? TTC and everybody that's out there in this world. How y'all doing today? Hope y'all doing fine because you know who this guy is. But yeah, so this video here I'm gonna be touching on a little bit of basketball. Yeah, so I'm gonna be touching on the draft a little bit and what I think. So let's get to it, right? So the Hawks, we had the 15th pick. We end up trading it to the Wizards for the 19th pick. And we ended up trading the 19th pick to the Knicks for Tim Hardaway Jr. People say, "Whoa, we should have kept Kelly Oubre." No. You wanna know why? Because we ain't got time to develop another project. We need somebody that's gonna help out right now. And another thing, there weren't any, as far as big men go, there weren't any in the draft that was worth taking at 15 or 19. People say, "Well, Bobby Porter, right? Portis. I'm sorry, Bobby Portis from Arkansas, right? Still would have to wait another 2 or 3 years before he develops, right? So you think about John Jenkins, right? When we drafted him, he barely even scratched his. He didn't even scratch the court like that. Same way with Mike Muscala, right? When we not Mike Muscala, but Mike Scott. When we drafted Mike Scott, right? How long did it take before Mike Scott saw real good playing time? Took about a year or two, right? Took about 2 years, right? Before he saw significant playing time, right? So, do you really want to, draft somebody and then have to coach him up for 2 years, or do you want somebody who can contribute right away? Which one? Exactly. Think about it. Tim Hardaway Jr. He's been in the league for 2 years now. You know, out of Michigan, can score the ball. You can bring, what I'm saying, good bench player. Reminds me of Lou Williams. That's what he reminds me of. He's like a Lou Williams. Can come in off the bench, be that valuable scoring option off the bench. Can give you 15, 16 points a game. Can create his own shot. Can handle the ball, score in bunches. Very, very good. Um, Very, very good player. And I think he's going to do well here for the simple fact that he had to get away from New York. He had to get away from the Knicks. It was just the New York Knicks was a toxic place to play. It's just toxic up there. Like they just I don't know what they doing in New York, man. Phil Jackson, I don't know what the hell that man doing. Or whatever it is, he's not doing a good of a job. He's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, okay, you trade um, J.R. Smith and Iman Shumpert. You can tell they was glad to get the hell out of Dodge. Because they was not going to prosper no more in New York. They just weren't going to prosper there. I mean, after a while, you get tired of losing, man. That's why I didn't understand why Miller re-signed. It was like, you just insist on being mediocre. Not calling him mediocre, but you insist on playing for mediocrity. You know, eventually that started to rub off on other people. The more losing you do, the more used to you get to losing, the more you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm trying to say. It's like that rubs off on people, and people you just get tired of losing after a while. And I'm just glad Tim Hardaway Jr. is here in Atlanta. He's coming to a winning situation. I think he's gonna fit in well with Coach Bud. You know, he's gonna fit in well here in Atlanta. And so they did the right thing. Just think about it. who was worth taking at 15 that was going to play right away? Who? Because all of the big men that we needed were gone by then. They all got drafted in the top 10. Of course, you knew Karl Anthony Towns was going number 1. Trey Lyles went 9, I think. Then Willie Cauley-Stein went 8 to Sacramento. So there weren't nobody that was left around at 15 worth taking, as far as big men go. So if you draft Kelly Oubre, it's going to take minimum 2 years for him to develop. Because more than likely, he's going to get sent to the D-League for a while. I mean, what's the purpose of drafting you if you're not going to see the court right away? I mean, you want somebody that's going to help right now, not 2 years from now. So, I know you wanted Kelly Oubre, but how long was it going to be before he contributed? And more than likely, it wasn't going to be this year. It might not be, I'm pretty sure it wasn't going to be next year neither. So, Hawks did the right thing by trading out and getting Tim Hardaway Jr. Because once again, you got somebody who can help right away, and you didn't have to give up much to get him, and he didn't cost you much. He doesn't cost you much. He's gonna be getting, because he's still in his rookie contract, so it's not gonna cost you much. It's gonna cost you $1.5 million this year and $1.5 million next year. That's $3 million total. $3 million total in all. So it didn't cost you much, and you didn't have to give up much. So it was kind of a win, and we saved on cap space. So it really was a win-win. You know, it really was a win-win. I know I heard some people say, you know, you can't never satisfy everybody. You can't satisfy everybody. I found that out a long time ago when it comes to sports. You're not gonna satisfy everybody. No matter how well you do, nobody's never satisfied. Which I understand. That's just how it is. So I like what we did. You know, I think Coach Bud did the right thing. We need somebody who's going to contribute right away. You know, help us in scoring. We needed more scoring. We needed more scoring. You know, as far as our big man go, that's where free agency is for. Think about it. You got Jordan Hill in LA. He's a free agent. So he can come, you know, him. You know, he's someone who can rebound the ball, score, play defense, good around the basket. You know, he's a good offensive rebounder. Then you got Greg Monroe in Detroit. You know, he's probably going to cost a little money. He's probably going to cost us, cost a lot of money, but still, he's another guy, another big man. He's like 6'11", can rebound, can score around the basket, pretty good free throw shooter. He's somebody else that you can get and that can help out right away. So that's something you got to consider. There weren't nobody that can in the draft worth taking that can help right away. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, I'm not gonna hold y'all up no more. I've been talking long enough. You know. So tell me what you think about what the Hawks did. You know. Make sure you comment, rate, subscribe. And I'm out of here.